Attention! Find out how you can get a free extra meal on your next flight. What do passengers do to annoy them the most? What am I talking about here? It's flight attendant secrets and nightmares finally revealed. Stay to the end to find out what they might be calling you behind your back. Alright, here we go. They're judging you during boarding. If you're acting a bit off as you get on the plane, this might mark you down as a potential problematic passenger. This screening lets them predict what kind of flight it's going to be. And one of them is counting you. Ever notice how one of those smiling flight attendants greets you with their hands behind their back? It's not because they just changed the engine oil and lubricated the jet. It's because they're holding a special counter to keep track of how many passengers have boarded. Some passengers take life vests from the plane, so make sure there's one under your seat before takeoff. If it's missing, it's probably become a souvenir for a sticky-fingered passenger before you. Just let the crew know about it. Now, they're not kidding when they ask you to turn your electronics off. One phone that's not in an airplane mode won't mess the plane up or anything, but if everyone decides to ignore the command to get off the grid, it can seriously interfere with communication between air traffic control and the cockpit. If you use the bathroom before takeoff, they let the pilot know. If you go hard on airport coffee, relieve yourself before getting on the plane. Cabin crew will have to inform the pilots if there's a passenger in the bathroom, and they won't take off until you're out. They don't want you to fall down in there. Flight attendants aren't paid to help you lift your bags. In fact, they aren't paid to greet you, show you to your seat, or even for hours they spend waiting while the flight is delayed. They only get paid for actual flight hours. Their schedule is intense. No, they're not camping in tents, and it's not about traveling in style to a new awesome destination every day. There's no fixed work week, and sometimes, especially in the beginning, they work on a reserve schedule, meaning they must be ready to get to work literally any time of the day to fill in for someone. They have to be within a 90 to 120-minute ride from the airport. Woo! They don't all know each other. There's rarely a flight crew that always works together. In most cases, they only learn who they're flying with right before the trip during a pre-flight briefing. So if you hear them call each other darling and dude, it might be because they don't know each other's names. Oh, that's why they have those name tags. You make their job harder by roaming the aisles after takeoff. This is the busiest time for the crew as they start cruising back and forth with a heavy cart, heating up your meals, and preparing drinks. When passengers choose to stretch their legs or go see a friend in the other row, it starts a traffic jam. This is what makes meal service way slower and flight attendants uncomfortable. Hey, you're allowed to ask for more food. There are some leftover meals on almost every flight. If you're hungry for more, it never hurts to ask. They're only good for a short time, so they'll most likely be thrown away unless someone from the crew eats them after the flight. You can get better service in the back of the plane. The distance from their service galley to your seat is shorter if you're sitting toward the tail. If you're up front, though, the crew will probably get 50 extra requests along the way, and you might never get that extra blanket or earplugs. Now, I usually take a seat in the back, but what about you? And do you prefer window or aisle? Hey, how about that middle seat? Let me know down in the comments, and let's keep it moving. Bottled drinks are your best friends during the flight. When given the choice of free drinks on board, don't go for the coffee or tea. In fact, ask for whatever comes in a can or bottle. Water in those hot drinks might be okay, but the onboard tanks it comes from don't get cleaned that much. Flight attendants aren't waiters. They serve you meals and pour drinks, but their main duty is to assist the captain in keeping things on board safe and acting fast in case of any unexpected situations. The intense training they go through is packed within a few short weeks, yet it includes safety procedures, the plane's technical details, and first aid, to name a few. They aren't your personal butlers either. Of course, you can use the call button if you need something, but don't get mad if an attendant doesn't show up the next second to help you out. Unless you have your own personal jet, there are usually at least 100 other passengers besides you. If you just want a glass of water, you can stretch your legs and go get it. They don't have all the answers. Now, since we're on the topic of call buttons, don't use it to ask the crew where the plane is flying right now or how you can find some part of the destination airport. The truth is, they don't know, and they really don't have to know. They can't stand when you stick your used napkin in your cup. Flight attendants stack cups to save space, so every time there's a napkin inside, they just have to fish it out and throw it away separately, and that just wastes their time. You can open the bathroom door from the outside. Hey, if your kid is stuck inside or something, you just have to lift the lavatory sign and slide the knob into the unlock position. But this is only for emergencies. The cabin isn't the cleanest place in the world. I'm sure you know the bathroom isn't exactly the epitome of sterile. But those carpets aren't germ-free either, so don't go walking around without your shoes on. But the thing you eat on is the filthiest. The tray tables just get a quick wipe down with one rag for all the rows, and people put their feet on them. Flight attendants know if you use aerosols on board. If you manage to sneak in a travel-size hairspray or deodorant in your carry-on, don't use it in the bathroom, it'll set off the alarm. There are rest compartments for the crew. Larger airplanes have little hidden rooms for the crew to rest on long-haul flights. They have to crawl in there because there isn't that much room, but it's still good enough to relax a bit. They ask you to lift the shades for a reason. The emergency exit shades must be up so that the flight attendants can see if it's safe outside before they open the doors. They can spice things up if they want. Going over the same routine every day can get boring. There are no rules forbidding them to get creative with the pre-flight safety demonstration. So you can sometimes see flight attendants make it more of a stand-up comedian piece or even dance on board. The crew has their own secret language. PAX is short for passengers. Is an unaccompanied minor traveling alone who needs extra attention and care. Spinners are passengers with no assigned seat that arrive at the last minute and start spinning around looking for an open spot. Runners are those who literally sprint through the airport and into the plane to catch a tight connection. George is a popular name for the autopilot system. Blue juice is the liquid used in airplane toilets, and the restroom itself can be called the blue room. As for that special foldable seat the flight attendants use during takeoff, landing, and turbulence, it's called a jump seat. And finally, if you've been misbehaving at 30,000 feet and the flight attendant offers to help you outside so you can stretch your legs, don't take them up on it. Hey, just kidding. So, if you learned something new today, then give the video a like and share it with a friend. Here are some other cool videos I think you'll enjoy. Just click to the left or right, and remember, stay on the bright side of life.